What's up, everyone? Call me Malenko here, and today we're going to be talking about Mistfall Hunter, a game that may be one of the freshest additions to the extraction genre in years. The extraction genre has become one of the fastest growing categories in gaming over the past several years, but it has also become one of the most saturated in a very short amount of time. Titles such as Escape from Tarkov, Dark and Darker, Hunt Showdown, and Arc Raiders have attracted players who enjoy the risk versus reward gameplay loop of entering a match, collecting valuable loot, and attempting to escape before losing everything, and I mean everything. While these games have found success, many of them share similar theme and mechanics, causing the genre to feel somewhat repetitive. This is where Mistfall Hunter enters the conversation. Mistfall Hunter stands out because it takes the extraction formula and places it within a dark fantasy setting rather than a military or modern combat environment. Instead of carrying assault rifles and tactical gear, players choose from unique classes and venture into dangerous lands filled with monsters, magic, and melee combat. This change in setting immediately separates the game from many of its competitors and gives players a new experience within a familiar genre. One of the most refreshing aspects of Mistfall is its approach to combat. In many extraction shooters, success often depends on who spots the enemy first, what type of gear another person has, or what type of guns another person has. Mistfall takes a completely different approach by utilizing player skill and player class. Even though gear is important, a player with high tier gear can still lose to someone with tier 1 basic gear due to them just knowing the game better. This creates opportunities for skill expression beyond simply having better aim or equipment. If you're someone who's already used to the gameplay style of a Souls-like game, even with tier 1 gear, you'll have a much better chance at winning a PvP encounter versus someone who has never played those type of games before and have only stuck with the typical extraction shooter with guns. Class-based system also adds a layer of depth that many extraction games lack. Different classes bring unique strengths and abilities to each raid, encouraging players to experiment with different playstyles and the team compositions. As a result, no two encounters feel exactly the same. Players must consistently evaluate their opponents, adjust their strategies, and make decisions based on strengths and weaknesses of their group. The variety helps keep the gameplay engaging and unpredictable. For example, if you're playing a warrior and you're going against someone who's using more of a mage type character, most of their abilities are going to be range based. The game doesn't really have a sprint function, so it's forcing you to try to run and maneuver past or use your dodge ability to try to get past enemies who are throwing fireballs, electric attacks, or freeze attacks at you, and you have to get in close to attack because you don't have the abilities that they have. But if you bring in things such as tactical gear, the throwing axe, the throwing knives, the little bombs that they have in the game, it kind of helps you when you're at that range, but to do any real damage, you have to get in close. And it becomes more of a challenge. Also, the same if you're playing a warrior or wizard knight class, but you're going to get someone who's using a bow and arrow. They have that advantage of range, but they're at a disadvantage if you get close to them because it's not much they can do except continue to try to dodge past you. Another reason Mistfall Hunter feels important is because it demonstrates a willingness to innovate within the extraction genre. Many recent games have attempted to replicate successful formulas rather than introducing new ideas. While imitation can work in the short term, long-term growth requires developers to take risks and explore new directions. Mistfall Hunter does exactly that by blending extraction mechanics with fantasy RPG elements, creating a hybrid experience that feels both familiar and unique. Of course, the game still faces challenges. Like any multiplayer title, it will need a healthy player base, consistent updates, and balanced gameplay to remain successful. The developers will also need to ensure that progression, loot, and class balance remain rewarding and fair for both new and experienced players. However, these challenges are common among live service games and do not diminish the creativity behind Mistfall's core design. In conclusion, Mistfall Hunter represents a fresh and exciting addition to the extraction genre. By combining dark fantasy themes, class-based gameplay, and strategic combat with traditional extraction mechanics, the game offers something genuinely different from many of today's most popular titles. Whether it becomes a long-term success remains to be seen, but its willingness to innovate makes it one of the most interesting extraction games currently on the horizon. So what do you think? Is Mistfall Hunter the next big thing in extraction gaming, or will players stick with the games they already know? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow for more gaming news, discussions, and content. This has been Call Me Malenko, and I'll catch you on the next one.